Hi guys, it's Sarah with Papercraft Junkie, and I just wanted to show you a quick video about how I'm doing some of my watercoloring look here. If you can see how I've done this holly here at the bottom, it kind of looks watercolorish, and I did not paint it. I used watercolor pencils and Stabilo markers. Okay, so these Stabilo markers, this is number 68. And I used the green, oh no, these are 68s. This is 36 and 48. So just the plain green and the plain red. And then I also used a blender pen. So what I did first was I colored what I wanted to color in with the watercolor pencils. And I just do a really light cover of it. Really light cover of all of this, my little holly here. And then the next piece, you got to go kind of fast. So you just have that base, that green base there. And I'm going to keep my my blender pen. I've got a piece of paper off to the side to kind of wipe off the tip. You can see there, can you see, is it making it? You can see it's a little green just because I've been using it, but that doesn't really transfer onto the paper. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab my green marker, set this there so I have it, and I'm going to just kind of run one line of outline, and then I'm going to go really quickly, and I'm going to go right along that line and circle it, and then I'm going to keep circling over the rest of it. So then it's kind of dark on one side, and then I'm going to wipe it off on my paper off to the side. And then I'm going to do that exact same thing, kind of make a line of green, and then it will dry kind of quickly, and it will create just a green line. So you want to make sure that you're just doing a little bit at a time. And another tip, this is watercolor paper, so it won't work on just plain cardstock. You need to be using watercolor paper also for this to work. These Stabilo markers are just basic markers, and you can color on your you can color on cardstock with them just like regular markers. But if you can also color on watercolor paper and then blend them if you blend them very quickly with either a water brush or a blender pen, then that works. And let's see, water brush. You can see my water brush here. It just you just put regular water into it, and then you can use it as a little brush if that's all you have. You can also just use a small. Do I have a small one here? Just use a small paintbrush too. If you don't have a blender pen, just a very small paintbrush would do this exact same thing. So for the red, I'm just going to put, these berries are very small, so I can probably go pretty quickly and make sure that I've got all the green off of there. And just go, come on, is the green not off? Go through, add a little bit of color to those. And just where you kind of want it to be a little bit darker, and just quickly add some color into there. It just makes it a little deeper of a color. You can't really see the lines of the coloring, kind of like the Copic coloring that's so pretty on all the cards people are doing. And so this is kind of the beginner's way of doing some of that Copic coloring. Anyway, I thought that it might be interesting for you guys to see how I've been doing some of this shading that I'm doing. You can see that it's kind of lighter on one side and darker on the other side, and you can't really see any lines that I've been coloring because I'm blending it with a blender pen or my water markers, water brush is what I've been using. Anyway, this hopefully will be one of our projects here in my Papercraft Junkies, in our Facebook group, Papercraft Junkies. We do a project each week, and so this will probably be next week's project. And you can find me at papercraftjunkie.com. Have a great day. Thanks.